Very excited to talk to our next guest. This man has a monster fight coming on up September 14th, live on pay-per-view. He is a dangerous young fighter. He is an absolute terror in the ring, and he is going to be fighting Canelo Alvarez coming up September 14th in Las Vegas, live on pay-per-view. Edgar Berlanga, the chosen one, joining us here on the program. Edgar, thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
I gotta tell you, man, I'm gonna be flat out honest with you. Like, I was like a lot of greedy boxing fans when the fight was first announced. It was like, oh, it's not Crawford, it's not Benavidez. But I'm gonna tell you something, man. You sold this damn fight. You walked up to that press tour, and I'm just like, this guy's got me. He's got me in. You hooked me in, man. Was that a conscious thing going in to that press tour with you and Canal? Because you very much bothered him, and you got
Yeah.
everybody believing in this and believing this is gonna be a captivating fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's normal, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't do nothing like like outside of the box, you know what I'm saying? This is what I am. I knew before the fight people were gonna talk shit, but eventually, the closer we get to the fight, the closer people gonna understand like this is gonna be a real fight. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not gonna be no bullshit. This is not what people think it is. And the more closer it gets, the more I'm gonna turn non-believers into believers. You know what I'm saying? And then after September 14th, they're gonna become real believers. So it's just me, man. Like people don't understand like who I am. Now everybody's getting to know me now. You know, the real world is understanding my story and everything. So people are gonna fall in love with me regardless. You know what I'm saying? I'm a humble guy, and I'm a humble killer, man. I come to fight, and I got an island behind me. I'm from New York, and yeah, it's game time, man. And one thing for sure, we don't got no respect for nobody. You know what I'm saying? Especially like the big homies. He's the big homie at 168. We don't got no respect for nobody. Like as far as like, fighters and everything. At the end of the day, we going in there to kill. So it is what it is. Like, he's just another guy, you know what I'm saying? He's a legend. But for me, I just gotta go in there and just do my business and do what I do best.
What did you say to him in the first in between when you reach in and you're talking into him that really seemed to like you saw the flicko, you're like, I got him. Like we all kind of saw that moment, but what was it that you said that you're like you noticed like all of a sudden, all right, the energy kind of shifted in the room.
Yeah, now I was just telling him like that is my time now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's my moment and I'm gonna kick his ass. And then he was just like, you're gonna see. And I was like, you're gonna see. You're gonna see. I just kept telling him, you're gonna see. He's like, you're gonna see. I was like, you're gonna see. Like we just kept going back and forth like that. Like I'm gonna kick your ass. And that was just it, you know what I'm saying? And then in LA it went to a whole nother level. LA was just crazy. I'm like, nah.
Well,
I
he
was more
probably
I was just more like I like in LA I was just more on my New York. I got like real like gritty and I was like, everybody over here, man. Like team, everybody, because they was more like we on their side now. We in LA, we on the West Coast, East Coast on the West Coast. But I keep that same energy wherever I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't my energy doesn't stay shift. I don't change energy or where I'm at. If anything, if places that I feel like my back is against the wall, like I always do, I show up. And that's what I did in LA. Like I just was just being me and I attacked everybody. Cause I don't give a you know what I'm saying?
did when you get done with the press tour and you go back into and now it's camp mode, it's starting to get the prep going. After you get like the measure up of him, you're like, all right, I see him eye to eye. I know what the mental energy of it is. What changes for you? Like, do you feel like you get a gauge on him? Does anything change as far as your preparation goes? Just because you've spent now time with him, you know what the whole back and
Yeah.
forth has been. How does that? I guess how does that level up the training?
Yeah, like a lot. I just know that I sparked something in him for sure. Man, he could say he don't he's not gonna have compassion for me. He was never gonna have compassion for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm Puerto Rican. He's Mexican. You get what I'm saying? So I definitely like lit a fire in him for sure. But hey, that's what we all want, right? We want the guy his best version of himself. You know what I'm saying? So when I do beat him, it's not gonna be like, oh, this guy, he took Edgar lightly. Nah, I made sure he came, I touched a couple buttons in him that I made sure he came on his A game that night, so September 14th, we are gonna get the best Canelo, you know what I'm saying? And he's gonna get the best Edgar Berlanga because, you know, I want what he got. You know what I'm saying? It's my time now. Like he's already at that age. He made history already. He's held the belts for numerous years already. And to be honest, people just tired of him. You know what I'm saying? Like people just they want something new. You know what I'm saying? They want a new guy to come in and and shake the sport up. And I know I'm the guy for that. And that's why I got the opportunity now that I did.
Edgar, one of the things it's interesting you mentioned that because I was at his last fight. It was the first time I've ever been to a Canelo fight, and I have a lot of respect for him, obviously, as a boxing fan and all that. But it was interesting being in that building. A lot of that building was rooting for Munguia, and I'm
Yeah, yeah.
curious what you think it's going to be like because that was Mexico, Mexico. This is Puerto Rico, Mexico. What do you think the energy is going to be like in that building? Are you anticipating it being mostly hostile, a lot more people rooting for Canelo, or do you feel like your side is going to come out and it's going to be like one of those classic Puerto Rico, Mexico hostile crowd back and forth? Like, what do you anticipate? Because I was a little taken aback by the crowd being more
Yeah.
pro
I'm
Munguia
telling
than it
you, like
was.
I done went to Canelo fights and people was Mexicans screaming in the crowd, Mexicans screaming, "You gonna beat Canelo? You out? We want you to knock him out." Like I'm like, damn, these people really don't like him. Like I understand, I know I got hate in Puerto Rico, but you'll never see a Puerto Rican in my face telling me Canelo's gonna knock you the out. You know what I'm saying? Like if anything, a Puerto Rico will probably hate me on social media, but they'll see me and "Vamos Boricua," like "Vamos Puerto Rico," like they'll go crazy for me. Even though they was probably just talking mad shit about me on the media, but that's how certain Puerto Ricans are like that. But when Mexicans was telling me that, like in the crowd while he's fighting, and they're like, "You gonna knock," and I got video. I hear them like, I got video like, "You gonna knock him out, take him," and I'm in there, and if you go on my Instagram and you see me when I went into the lobby the day that he fought with Canelo, with Munguia after, bro, I had a whole crowd of Mexicans following me. Like, so that night, you don't be surprised. You probably see Mexicans with the flag rooting for me. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the Mexicans know how much love I got for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love Mexicans, and they seen that night, May 4th, when I went back to the hotel and I made a ruckus. I did something crazy in that lobby at the MGM, and the security was like, "Hey, like, please, can you go upstairs to your room? Like, this is outrageous." And it was a whole bunch of Mexicans. There was no Puerto Ricans. It was all Mexicans hugging me, singing Mexican songs. Like, so that night is, I don't know, man. It's gonna be special.
I just do you have a theory as to why that is? Do you think it's just like he's blown up too much and that's like people feel like he's sold out, or do you feel like they're just is it like you said before, like it's an exhaustion with him? What do you think it is that people are kind of rats off a ship on the whole Canelo show?
I think that they just feel like, he's not like a people's person. He's not like, that's why, they look at like Marquez and like Julio Cesar Chavez, like the guy, because they more for the people, as much money as they made, they still themselves, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta understand, right? Like guys, like where we come from, like Mexicans and Puerto Ricans, we humble people, bro. Like our our islands are very humble, bro, and very hardworking people. You know what I'm saying? So regardless of how much money you make, you gotta always bring yourself down for your people. You don't gotta do it for everybody, but at least for your people. Whether it's taking pictures, whether it's being in, doing give backs and being there with the kids and going to visit, you know, homes and going back to where you came from and when you grew up and giving back and showing face. That's what the people love. You get what I'm saying? That's when you start grasping towards the people, and I feel like, and like I said, our countries are very, very humble people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like me making millions and millions of dollars, and I go to Puerto Rico, and I don't want to, and I'm like, I don't want nobody touching me. Nah, that. I'm gonna still walk in Puerto Rico. I got $100 million. I can have 100 billion. I'm gonna still walk in Puerto Rico. I'm gonna still hug people. I'm gonna still give back. I'm gonna still show face, and I'm gonna still let the people be able to touch me. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want, especially for the kids. And I feel like people don't respect that from him. You know what I'm saying?
A couple more before we get you out of here. Edgar Berlanga joining us by his pay-per-view September 14th against Canelo Alvarez. Going to be a hell of a showdown. Down here in South Florida, we have another great Puerto Rican fighter, Xander Zayas. I've seen you guys had, some back and forth and some interactions. What do you think of his future? He's fighting a couple weeks after you. I think 27th-ish. He's back. But your guys' relationship, it seems like it's been a pretty cordial, cool one as you both are young fighters coming on up. What do you make of Xander's future?
Yeah, I think he's gonna be one of the greats too as well. You know, he keeps up what he's doing, and keep winning. He should be world champion in like a year or two. You know, you got tough guys at 154. You know, but I know he can hang with those type of guys. You know, he's still young, but he's well seasoned already. You know what I'm saying? He's ready for those big time fights. So I think, you know, another year, 2 years, he should be fighting for a world title very soon. And I think he should be. It feels good to have a guy. You know, a lot of times, you know, people coming up, they have Puerto Ricans and they just want to focus on one guy. But you know, you see the Mexicans. The Mexicans have numerous of guys that's superstars. You know, so I'm glad to be in this era where, you know, we have Amanda Serrano, we have me, we have him. You know, we have a lot of different guys that's Puerto Rican that's representing the island that have that's paving their own way, but also stars in the sport. You know, you don't get that a lot, and I feel like this is the first time in our decade, in our time, that we got that.
Just for one final thought, just on this fight, you know, we have seen a lot of young hungry guys go in there with Canelo. What is your particular plan? How do you plan on beating him? What do you think is your secret sauce to get this done and get your arm raised? Is it finishing him early? Do you plan on boxing his socks off? Like what is the thing that you guys have been focusing on to get this job ultimately done?
Break him down and take him out by the sixth round. He said he's gonna take me out by the eighth. We're gonna take him out by the sixth. And for everybody that's asking or that wants to know, you know, they're gonna see September 14th. They're gonna see greatness for sure.
Like I said, man, you've sold the world. You've done a great job. We cannot wait for this matchup. Edgar Berlanga, thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.